the ultimate power in the universe.
Last will reveal ourselves.
I have a bad feeling about this.
You are now tuned into LightSaber Radio. If you only knew the power of Darth.
Here it comes.
Let's go.
You are now tuned into LightSaber Radio. 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hello there.
Hello there indeed. We are here, we're back, and welcome to LightSaber Radio, your weekly hive of scum and villainy for anything and everything Star Wars. Thank you for joining us for today's episode of LSR. As always, to our regular and new viewers, make sure you smash that subscribe button, hit the notification bell to join our live shows on Wednesdays and Saturdays. And if you like this video, drop us a like because it means the whole galaxy. Guys, you know what it is. You know what it is. It's our 50th episode.
Hey,
50!
Hell yes.
Hey,
Holy
One
crap.
Links. Hey, Chris. Hey, Obi-Sean. Hey, Dylan. Hey, Nick.
We
Hey, guys.
50 episodes. Don't worry, everybody. Carl will be with us shortly. He's having some technical difficulties.
I thought I'd take Kyle's place by saying hi to everybody since he's having technical difficulties. Because that's normally his thing. So
Perfect.
I thought when it
How-
originally, like 50 episodes, I was like, holy shit, that's like almost a year because one a week. And then I forgot. I was like, oh, we're doing 2 a week now. So it added up a lot faster.
We have been at this for over 6 months now, and we've done 50 episodes. 50 episodes of talking to you lot. What am I doing with my life?
absolutely nothing but Star Wars. That
Nothing
is
but
what is
Star
going
Wars.
on here.
I live, breathe, eat Star Wars.
What up, Quackhead?
Hey Jacob, thanks for joining us. I'm going to keep banging on about this being our 50th episode. Thank you to everybody who has supported us from the very beginning, who's joined us, have become regulars. It's a pleasure to have you with us in the chat, contributing to the show and contributing to Star Wars, because that's what we want to do. We just want to bring you the best of Star Wars.
You guys must really like Charlie to put up with my bull crap. So
Yeah. I
don't know,
must
Garrison, some of your points though are very valid and very like understandable. You've had Charlie turn a few times with
Hey.
your points.
have I?
Yes,
Yeah.
I can count on like maybe 2 hands now. You've had her be like, I see where you're coming from, Garrison. And then I've seen some times where you guys have agreed, which is very
That's true. We have agreed on something.
yeah. So it's really nice. You know, I think we've grown. I think we
We've
showed
grown.
Hey, all y'all suck. Shut up. Whatever.
and there's
Mr.
Darth
Information
Vader.
over here. I got your ass today. I got you, Miss Charlie, because I got some questions for your ass. Like, I spent some time on these damn questions. I don't know. I didn't really spend that much time online. Let me shut up. Spent like 20 minutes.
Did you
But they some good questions.
Didn't you message the group chat last night? Like, crap, I haven't done the questions. Charlie, I haven't done the questions. I need to do this.
Hey, what's going on, Nick? What's going on, Quackhead?
50
That's a dope name.
episodes, Kyle. 50 episodes.
Can you believe it's been like over half a year since we started this? Like, we
No.
started back in like, what, June? July was the first one?
I can tell you the day. June 18th was the day we confirmed that we were doing this. And that following Saturday we started.
Like that's like we've been doing this for a while. Like, dude, time passes by. So that's because we have so much fun. You know, when you have fun, time goes by fast. Like if y'all like one of these days, we gonna like scroll through our personal chat, our private chat that we have, and y'all see some of the crazy shit we be talking about. You guys gonna be like, what the hell is wrong with y'all?
Our first podcast, I even have it marked as an anniversary date, was June 26th.
That's
And then-
adorable. Stop.
And then we've been on YouTube now for since September, so it's almost been 6 months on YouTube. Like,
Massive shout out. We've just hit over 600 subscribers. Hell
thank you,
yeah.
everybody.
Thank
Hell
you.
yeah.
I appreciate it so much. This is
We hit
amazing.
500 followers on Instagram. So amazing, absolutely amazing. Every single person who's joined in our community. Instagram has been popping off this week. Goodness me. I post one picture and I wake up to nearly 300 likes. And people just going off about the Grand Inquisitor. There seems to be a real talking point at the moment.
Well, I was like, so when I was doing the questions, I was trying to think about some stuff that has to do with Kenobi and Rebels. That's what we've been talking about. You know, we've been talking about Kenobi and Rebels. We're talking about Kenobi today, his life and death, and, you know, some of the things that we viewed and see, and some of the things that we think is going to happen. And I was just looking like, dude, there's the Grand Inquisitor, and then there's the Grand Inquisitor, not the Grand Inquisitor. I was like, dude, and then I found out there's there's like a lot of Inquisitors. Like, dude, how many Inquisitors is there? Like, holy crap, I didn't know there was that many. Like, dude, we're like, we haven't seen them all yet. That's because they've only did a certain amount in the thing. So it's like tricky. It's really tricky because it's like, dude, is this the same guy? How do we know there wasn't two of them? They just look sort of alike, and this one just had a fatter head or something. One of them was the Grand Inquisitor, the other one's the Grand Inquisitor. Like, there's two of them? I didn't know there was two of them. I was like all confused. I was reading like 20 articles trying to figure this crap out. Like, dude, get on the questions. Quit looking at this other crap. You're getting sidetracked.
I watched like a 30-second kind of rundown of the Inquisitors as like a unit and how many of them are there. And the last kind of 10 seconds of the video was so unbelievably fast. It was like 8th brother, 5th sister, 9th brother, 10th sister, 18th sister, 5th brother, 4th sister. Okay.
Like,
21, 18, 19, 20.
Yes.
It was a collage of just brain stumbling facts. Oh crap! Oh wait, what did he say? How many? What? 4, 6, 3, 5? Like, you couldn't go Grand Inquisitor, the Grand Inquisitor, Sister 1, Sister Brother 2, Sister. No, they had to jump from 3, 9, 6, 12, 18, 46, back down to 4. Like, why are you jumping around so much? Like, just.
They should make a
Your
song out of it.
consistency.
Just help us remember for the kids.
Like we did in school, the states and stuff.
All I think about is that cartoon. I can't remember the name of it. It's like Panama, Mexico. It just goes off like that. That's all I think about.
The Animaniac song.
Yes. Thank you. I couldn't think of it all of a sudden.
That's
It
tickles
just
my brain.
reminds me of that when I think of the Inquisitors, because there's so many of them.
Fourth brother.
Oh.
20
Like, why they just didn't give them names?
They don't deserve it.
Why didn't they just give them some names and say, okay, this is so and so, this is so and so, this is so and so.
Dylan, you are asking a question we already know the answer to. Who thinks they can take the Inquisitor in a fight? Kyle. It's Kyle.
I can kill all of them at one time.
Kyle just has to will it, and they're dead.
Yeah.
I am immortal. I can't die, so they can't beat me.
He just blinks and they're gone.
And I had the ring. I have the ring that takes away their force ability. Like,
yeah, you do.
Yeah, I got all the cool shit. I've been searching for this shit for like 4,000 years. All I've been doing is getting Sith artifacts.
I mean, it's one way to pass the time when you're ancient and immortal.
Yeah, I can't do anything,
Like
and I can't leave the planet that I'm on. I have to force project. I can only leave for a certain amount of time because I'm stuck to the planet. That's part of my.
Can we just have a whole episode where you talk to us about Darth Sway lore, please?
Hey, so when I get done writing, because if anybody doesn't know a little bit about Darth Sway, go on to Instagram. I do like a whole thing on. I do like a couple times, like where I came from, where like some of my force abilities, stuff like that. I have them in like these little 5-part series on Instagram. I think they're on on the Star Wars and TikTok too. But yeah, they're like, I really planned this guy out where like he can die, but it's almost impossible. You have to destroy the planet that he's on for him to die. Because the Force granted him immortality, but then he's stuck to the planet. Like when I leave, like I can only leave for like a month. That's it, and then I have to come back because I start losing my strength. I start losing my power. I'll start to. I won't die, but it's kind of like a vampire. Hey, I found out that Count Dooku was a vampire at one point. He got attacked. Yeah, I found that out. I was like, holy crap, that's weird. But yeah. So when I was designing him, like I don't want him to be perfect where he can't die, but like people done chopped him up, buried him, burnt him, I've been all kind of things. I just always come back.
He's like Rasputin. Excellent.
Like I just always come back. I just reform. Like they like put me all across the galaxy because the planet that I'm a part of, the planet that I belong to, the Force cursed me. That's the
100th episode idea, Dylan. Excellent. The Legend of Darth Sway. Carrison, we are
writing
10
a book
minutes.
about it. So
we are 10 minutes into the show. Do you have a Hoth breaker for us this week?
Oh shit!
Yes. Yes. Cotton. No, I'm just kidding.
What happens
Kyle,
when Darth
tell us more
Swain
about
truly
Darth
dies?
Yes. Who kills Darth Swain? No.
Or you know
So-
who kills me.
So in honor of Obi-Wan, I was thinking, okay, if you guys had to go into exile, what planet would you go on, and how are you passing the time, bro?
Ooh.
You're gonna be chilling
That's a
for
good
long
heartbreaker.
time.
Just
easy.
chilling, looking back.
CJ, yes.
We can't hear you.
Kashyyyk.
She.
I'm going to
Nice.
Kashyyyk. I'm going to Kashyyyk. After that, after the Empire.
He wants to
enslaves
date a
the
Wookiee
Wookiees-
too.
No, that's not that.
I'm just kidding.
No, after the enslavement of the Wookiees, I feel like it would be a very force sensitive planet. I feel like there's a lot of life there, and once the Empire takes it over, I think it'd be fun to be able to spy on them while learning how to be one with the Force a lot more. 'Cause knowing me, I don't have patience, and I definitely don't have a tolerance. So I think it would be a lot more fun to go to Kashyyyk, kind of just learn how to be patient, watch the Empire, and kind of be a part of the Rebel Alliance once I'm ready and willing to be okay. Somebody
Chris
said
asked-
Kanto?
Let me bring up Chris's content. He said, Kyle, if you were compared Darth Sway to another Sith Lord, who would that be? Nihilus? Nah,
Nihilus is a bitch.
I'll probably be off the original Sith Emperor. Because he basically the same thing with me. I made an agreement with the Force that if the Force had granted me immortality, that I would be, stuck like the Force said, okay, I'll give you immortality, but you can never leave this planet for longer than this. And when he destroyed his home planet and sucked the Force, his curse was that he always has to draw upon the Force. He always has to take the Force from other people. So it's kind of like that. So I would say the original Sith Emperor. I just can't ever remember his name. What's his name again?
Valora? No. That was
Yeah,
wow. I don't know why I said
Oh, yeah.
Is
It is.
it?
Ain't it Valora?
No, that's Chancellor Valorum. That's
Yeah, I know.
No.
that's
It starts with a veto. It starts with a veto.
Vi-
And then he became, then it changed to,
hell of a guess.
it's in Revan. It's in the book Revan. I don't know. I can't remember right now.
Vitiate?
Yeah, Vitiate.
Yeah.
Yeah. Vitiate. So that's why I would compare myself, because I got instead of just trying to conquer the galaxy, though, I just basically force project myself and search for Sith artifacts. And when I find it, I go get it. And then I utilize it to just not do shit because I can't do anything. Okay, now my planet, I'm going to a planet that I want to go to wherever the biggest casino planet is at. That's why I want to go for exile. I'm going to Canto Bite, yeah, or anything else, or even I exile myself to Coruscant. I would stay on Coruscant. I'm not leaving nowhere. I'll just go on the ground and hide, and I'll just come out. I'm not no Jedi. What are you guys talking about? I don't have no Force abilities. I won't do anything. I don't know what you guys are talking about. And I'd just be kind of
lightsaber on your waist. What are you talking about?
I wouldn't even carry a lightsaber. I wouldn't even act like a Jedi at all. If I had to really go into hiding, I wouldn't even act like a Jedi. I'd just be like, screw the Jedi. Y'all dead. I don't even care no more. Y'all took me for my parents anyway, you bastards. You know what I'm saying? Because you got to think about it, that is kind of creepy. They just snatch little children from people and just take them to Coruscant. Who knows what they doing in that temple? And there's a lot of weird stuff going on with the Jedi. That's kind of weird. You know what I'm saying? Grown men taking
actions here.
There might be, we've heard about a lot of teachers around the world molesting their students. So, they're all spiritual monkey. I'm just saying. So,
I'm just going to read this Galaxy's Edge cookbook and ignore what was just said.
Because I am a big softie, I'd go to Acto, the island of Acto, and spend time with the Lanai, help look after them, farm with them. I'd paint, I'd draw those views, the landscapes. It's quiet, it's peaceful, it's private, it's out of the way. Genuinely, I think Luke had the right idea. Somewhere either there or CJ. I'd go hang out with CJ and hang out on Kashyyyk because the trees, Wookiee cuddles,
They're
Brilliant.
already enslaved. You can't have Wookiee cuddles. The Empire
There
took
weren't
them.
Wookiee cuddles. You
Oh,
know,
trust me.
you know the kind of sleep you'd get on a Wookiee
Oh,
chest.
well,
you imagine.
Like, what's his name? Rio. Rio says,
the
you've
hell?
never slept comfortably until you've slept in a Wookiee's arms.
Yes.
Like, yes, I understand that, but there's no Wookiees on Kashyyyk.
And I will bring them back.
They're going home.
bring
They're
them.
going home.
Garrison, where would you go?
So I had a couple ideas. One was like Scarif because it's like all like just tropical island, kind of like, oh, this would be nice.
Ooh, That's a good
like-
shout.
You're
I
gonna
could
get
retire
blown up,
here.
though.
No, because he does blow up the whole planet, so just pick the right side.
It's a whole planet. So I mean, if you're on the opposite side of the planet, you might feel like an earthquake.
Actually, it'll probably have like, with how big that sucker is, it'd have like some kind of nuclear winter. So yeah, maybe it would like destroy the planet. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'd enjoy it until all shit hit the fan. Whatever.
Yeah.
And then you just hop on the first transport.
Can't
go by.
Die. I'd just be some like hobo living in the trees, and I come out like, what's all this noise? And I see the blast coming. I'm like, great.
Of course.
That makes me think of Terminator. When she's standing there at the fence and it's just coming at her, she just standing there watching it, and then she just gets blown apart like, like, oh, it's coming. Okay,
Yeah,
that's all right.
That
It's
honestly
happening.
might be.
I am one with the Force.
I'm one with the force. The force is me.
That's
Or
how you
maybe I'd go to Naboo because okay, hear me out. You're not. Yeah, Naboo's gorgeous, right? But like in the real world, politicians are not that attractive. If Padme's a politician and she's that hot, imagine what the regular people look like on Naboo. Like hot dang, like.
Hey, you gotta think about it. She had nine. Well, yeah, with nine, right? She had nine handmaidens,
Yes.
and they all looked like her.
Yeah,
So that means there's a whole planet of people that look like Padme. I might go with you,
Like,
Dearson,
yeah.
but we might have to go there.
Naboo sounds
A whole planet full of amygdalas. Like, yeah, I kind of want to go.
Deal. That's all I heard, guys.
Hey, this is the thing. We ain't Jedi no more. We can do what we want at this point.
That's true. That's true.
I feel like
Yeah.
after Order 66, if Duchess Satine wouldn't have been killed, I feel like that's where Obi-Wan would have went. I think he would have been like, deuces, I'm going to be a Mandalorian.
He would have had a better chance of surviving. The Mandalorians ain't no punk.
He
on
probably
the
wouldn't have
movies.
aged this bad either. He'd probably look amazing if he wouldn't have been stuck on Tatooine.
Like, look what no attachment got me. Like, fuck. Let's do what I'm trying to do.
I'm called a hermit. It's not what I wanted. I was a Jedi general, damn you.
I went from being one of the best Jedi to be some dude in the sand, worrying about getting a door.
I think I agree with Nick. I would 100% go to the Twi'lek planet.
I can do that too. There's Twi'leks is fine too. I'm just gonna go wherever hot women are at. Wherever hot women is at, I can use Jedi mind tricks on. See, I might not want to go to Twi'lek. I might because it's hard to mind manipulate Twi'leks. See, we go to Naboo, we can just mind manipulate all the women and just get them to do whatever they want. You want to sleep with me?
Jesus.
Hey, we ain't Jedi no more. We can do what we want.
To Jedi prison with you immediately. Goodness me.
We're
Right.
shoving you in the Mandalorian jail cell.
Before,
That's forbidden.
The
before
one that they put Satine in when she got captured by her, or the dude when they took her dude, her nephew had to get her out. Remember in the episode?
No, I'm
they
talking about
stuck
the
her
one
in
that
that
Maul
thing.
got shoved in.
That's the
At the
same
end of
one.
season 7.
That's the same
Mandalorian-
thing.
The metal box? I thought.
Yeah, the middle box with the
Oh,
yellow
yeah, it
door.
is, yeah.
It's the same one that they put Satine in.
Yep. Yep, that's happening. That's where you're going.
this
Can't
is
use
why
your powers in there.
this is why we're known as the Outrageous Star Wars podcast. Right, today, before we all get sent to horny jail, we are talking about my fave, my comfort character, my Star Wars husband, Obi-Wan Kenobi. Oh my god.
Hello there.
Okay, so
love
break
him.
down what we're going to be talking about. Like how.
So I thought, as well as going back over the trailer, because I know that's still been massively popular, I want to hear what your kind of first impressions of Obi-Wan were as a character. Were you introduced to him through the original trilogy, the prequel trilogy? Excuse me. I want to hear how we feel about Obi-Wan's death scene in A New Hope, because I know that's quite a controversial topic within Star Wars. I've also got a couple of reading recommendations for people who want to get a bit more in the know about Kenobi before the series comes out. And I have got a bunch of quotes to read out from Ewan, from Kathleen Kennedy, from Deborah Chow regarding the Obi-Wan series, which sound super exciting. Let's go.
Okay, so if it was me, so the first time I seen Kenobi, of course I'm old, so I seen him in The New Hope, and I thought he was just like watching the actual show. I'm like watching the movie and like, who's this old creepy dude, man? And he calls himself Ben. Man, I thought they was looking for Obi-Wan. Like, who is Obi-Wan? Who's Ben? Like, who was? Like, they got the same last name. Was his brother or something? And he's gonna take him to the brother or something. It was kind of weird. I was young. Now, for the death scene, I liked the death scene. A lot of people don't like it. They say, "Oh, it's crap." You know what I'm saying? It's. I don't even know how you would explain it, but him knowing that he could be more powerful dead, because then he can actually train Luke. We can actually train Luke. Hey, sorry everybody on my internet connection. I don't know what's going on. I tried to fix it. It ain't working. It says I have low Wi-Fi, but I'm not on Wi-Fi, so I don't understand what's going on with it. But I liked it because he explained it to Vader and it worked. You know what I'm saying? It worked because he struck it down. Now he can pop up to Luke whenever he wants, talk to him whenever he wants. He ain't got to worry about nobody chasing after him. I think that's a really good. I thought it was a perfect plan. Like, it was perfect, and it played out so well in Empire Strikes Back. I mean, it played out excellent. And in Return of the Jedi, he was there. At the end of New Hope, he was there. Like, use the Force. Don't worry about using these damn electronics. The Force is way better. And I think because of the way he died, it gave us a better explanation of what the Force was. Before we had the prequel trilogy, because at that point there wasn't no prequel trilogy, so we didn't know a lot about what the Force actually was. And I think it kind of explained, like, it showed the energy level and the way the Force worked and got more into it before Luke went to Yoda and started learning about lifting things and, Force visions and stuff like that. So I think that now, during the time period that he's on Tatooine and he's dealing with Luke and watching over Luke, I think he just goes through a lot. And that's what teaches him that he knows that he goes into the Force. And it's probably one of the reasons I think Qui-Gon is definitely going to show up as a Force ghost in the series, because he has to teach Obi-Wan really how to do this so Obi-Wan can do it when Luke is at that time, when he has to give his own life in order to, he has to sacrifice himself to be a better master to Luke, which is kind of messed up when, Luke refers to Yoda as his master. Like, wait, hold up.
Whoa.
Yoda talked about a list of rocks. Obi-Wan been teaching you for like a couple years now before you even started messing with Yoda. What the hell are you talking about? Like, it was kind of messing. You got to like give co-ownership to the master role on this part right here. But nah, that's what I think. That's my personal. I thought he died well. I thought he died well. I thought it fit really well with the story, and I think George did an excellent job when he wrote it, like the way he wrote it. That's my personal opinion.
Did it take the prequels for you to really fall in love with Obi-Wan as a character, or were you still kind of like Anakin supremacy, Darth Vader only?
I've never been a big Obi-Wan fan. I was like, honestly, Obi-Wan was the punk to me. Like, this dude's a bitch, man. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
like even watching the prequels. In the prequels, I was all about Anakin. Anakin's dope. Anakin's doing all this. He's dope as hell. And Obi-Wan just sitting there like, oh, really? You know what I'm saying? Then watching the Clone Wars, it was the same way. And when I was watching the Clone Wars, the animated series, it was the same way. Like, Obi-Wan he did some cool stuff and he said some funny stuff, but Anakin was the best part. And Ahsoka, they was the best part of watching that. I would rather watch Rex and them than Obi-Wan. Like, Obi-Wan just wasn't that big of a character to me. And when on the original trilogy, it was all to me. It was all about Han. Han was the best character to me in the original trilogy, like because he made it fun. Harrison Ford made it fun to be a Star Wars fan. That's what Obi-Wan. He was just like there. He said some crafty, good moral stuff, and then he died. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't that big to me. He just wasn't that character. He's never been that character to me. I would much rather see, even in the original trilogy, I'd much rather watch Han and Luke than I would, or even Leia. I like Leia more than I like Obi-Wan in the original trilogy. But I don't know. Obi-Wan never had that connection to Obi-Wan. I liked his wisdom. I like, even when he was younger, he was the way he trained. He kind of let Anakin just do what Anakin did. He gave him a couple of advice points here and there, but he really, even in the books, he kind of let Anakin do what Anakin does. Like, he knew that Anakin was better than him. And he accepted that and just kind of was like, go do you. You're going to figure it out. And it usually works out, so I'm just going to trust you.
I am going to take the stage because we all know that my Star Wars journey started with the Phantom Menace. That's a given at this point. The scene on Camino where they turn around and they take their hoods down and you see Qui-Gon Jinn and a young Ewan McGregor as Obi-Wan Kenobi with that horrible little rat tail and that spiky hair, and he's covered in rain. Oh my God, I was in love. I was obsessed. I had no idea who the character was, no idea why he was important, but I was obsessed.
Don't knock the rat tail. I love the rat tail.
I'm not shaming the rat tail. I recognize it's horrific. We love it, but and I loved how he was this kind of this. Obviously, if you've read Master and Apprentice, you know that Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon don't have the best start to their relationship with each other. It's difficult. They're very opposite in their ways of thinking and their ways of being. And you see so much of that in The Phantom Menace. You see this young, headstrong, which is why I think Obi-Wan rebukes that so much in Anakin, because he saw it in himself and it didn't take him anywhere. It made things more difficult. So when he sees it in Anakin, he tries desperately to suppress it without really realizing at that time what it's going to lead to. And then when I watch the originals, I see this, like Chris has said in the chat, I see this sad, really quite mentally unwell old man who just needs a hug. Like, he's been through, by that point in the films, he has been through so much. And I personally never saw his death as weak. It was more of a letting go, a moving on per se, rather than a giving up. A really, really beautifully crafted character. And I am so, if I could go back in time to sit in front of 9-year-old me and go, you're going to get a whole TV series dedicated to just Obi-Wan Kenobi. Oh God, that'd make me so unbelievably happy. I can't believe that we're getting story to fill in these gaps. And I know Disney are going to do their best to deal with. Kathleen Kennedy said that we're looking ultimately to make a hopeful, uplifting story, and it's tricky when you're starting with a character in the state that Obi-Wan would be in coming off Revenge of the Sith. It's a pretty bleak period of time. You can't just wave the main wand with any writer and arrive at a story that necessarily reflects what you want to feel. So I think they're going to have to tackle kind of his PTSD and his bad dreams and to get to this point of hope and redemption, because ultimately that's what Star Wars is all about.
Yeah.
Love Obi-Wan. Love.
There's just so much there that you have to dig into. There's so much emotion and history with him that you have to dig into it. That's one of the things I love about Kenobi is while a lot of characters kind of show this redemption quality, I feel like Obi-Wan never really, like, he made mistakes. He obviously messed up, but he didn't fall like other characters did. And I think it shows like how hard it can be trying to be that good guy all the time, and how much of a burden that is. And I think Obi-Wan kind of showed that a little bit. How just everyone around him is just gone. You know what I mean? And how trying to always do the right thing can be a burden sometimes, and how hard it is, and how much of a toll it plays, I guess. And
it's not just about always doing the right thing. It's him always doing the right thing for the people around him and never for himself.
Right.
So there's all of this sacrifice on his shoulders, and all of this, well, I've never put myself first, because that's not the Jedi way.
And while at the same time, I also think you do see growth with him, because you see him change in what really is the right thing. Because at first he's very much like obey the council, listen to the council, listen to all the rules. And I think Qui-Gon Jinn did have a little bit of an impact on him where, okay, it's not all about rules. You have to actually listen to the Force and be one with the Force. And I think like by the end of his life, he kind of learned that where instead of like following rules or doing what he's always been taught, he truly understood what it meant to like listen to the Force, right? And so that's when he allowed himself to die. So that's why I kind of liked the death scene. He wasn't so much worried about, he was more listening to the Force and doing what needed to be done, I guess.
Absolutely. CJ, how do you feel about Obi-Wan?
The first time I saw Obi-Wan was Sir Alec Guinness himself. I heard the hello there. His master's Obi-Wan Kenobi. Do you know who Obi-Wan is? Of course I know who he is. He's me. Like Alec Guinness is like the way he taps on himself. Like I remember, like that is like he's me. The hello there. I got a shirt. Like I'm wearing my shirt. Like the shirt's like 6 years old, but I love every second of the shirt. But his character, I was always drawn to it because as a kid I grew up in a military household, so structure and continuous, like this is what needs to happen. This is what needs to happen. We got to follow the rules. This is what is said. This is what is done. We got to follow those rules. And when I saw Obi-Wan in Phantom Menace, that was like his structure. Oh, please don't disobey the council again, Master. Like it's like he just wants to follow the rules. And in Master and Apprentice, it does the same thing. Like Qui-Gon even says, he's like, hey, yada yada yada, and Obi-Wan's like, oh great, he's gonna do this, and the council's gonna be like this, and I just want to do this, and I want to make sure the council's happy. Like he's very structured with that. And as I grew up, it progressed. I always liked Obi-Wan because of Alec Guinness. It wasn't because of Ewan McGregor until episode 2. When I saw episode 2, when he was fighting Jango Fett and he had all those moments and he was just being a smart ass, like, you can't do stuff like that, Anakin, and then he jumps out a window. Or we tried to rescue you. Good job. Like that was literally like his humor and the way he approaches things. And then I felt even more in love with the character going into the Clone Wars, and you see the attachments that he wasn't allowed to have, but you know that he had them with Duchess Satine, and how that progressed, and how he would have left the order if Duchess said something like that. That was like always one of the what ifs in my head when I watched that episode. It was like, what if Obi-Wan just got up and said, deuces, I'm gonna be a Jedi Mandalorian? Like, nice. And it was like, and one of my favorite videos to watch, like when I'm having one of those days where I want to like have a video to watch where it's over, like it doesn't matter how hard it's been, you've been through hell and back, but I'm still persevering, I'm still going through, is called SW Obi-Wan Kenobi Jedi Knight. It's by Mead Record. It's 4 minutes and 57 seconds, and it just goes over all his dialogue, and it goes through like the traumatic events and what it shaped him and how he never changed as a character himself. And it's like one of my favorite videos. Ewan McGregor will always, I'm sorry, I can say it, I have a man crush on the man. Like, yes, I love it. I knew who he was even before Obi-Wan because my dad liked his acting also. Like I'd seen a few of his movies, and when he was Obi-Wan and what he did between the Obi-Wan stuff, like my dad would watch, and it was such a progressive growth for me to keep watching him as an actor, even after that, and to get him in a show now where it's about that character that I fell in love with and grown an attachment to. Like I have 3 different lightsabers that are his. Like I have the flick wrist one from when I was a kid. I found it at a garage sale for like $5. I have my original one from when Revenge of the Sith came out, and then it's on its way now because I got my taxes and I bought it. I have a really expensive one on the way. Nice. But I think altogether with the character, I think his life and his death really go together as a group. I think it's a beautiful story, and I'm glad that Disney, Kathleen Kennedy, Dave Filoni, all of them sat down and were like, we have to do this. We have to get into this. Like, we see his beginning and we see his middle, but we see his end, but we don't see the middle before that end. We don't see what he does. We don't see. Yes, Dylan, I got a NeoPixel. Gosh, you catch my attention every time you message. But the middle to end, I want to see. I want to see what made him like that. I want to know how hard it was not to be a Jedi. I have where he puts his Jedi Order logo on his arm sleeve in the Clone Wars. I have it tattooed in the same spot on the same arm. Like,
That's adorable.
He's that much of a character to me to obviously get something permanent on me in the same spot, the same like distance from his wrist. Like, it was very accurate in where I was putting that. And
I'm out here with BB-8 on my thigh. Let's go.
I have the Boba Fett logo right here on my chest too. So,
Nice.
but the fact that I get to see what he went through and how hard it was to struggle to not be a Jedi, to not do the right thing, it's something that I want to see, because Obi-Wan is always for doing the right thing. It's that person's getting his ass kicked over there, and if I don't stop it, he might die. I might want to get my hands dirty on this. And I want to see that. I want to see how it took him so much power. Like, it took so much power to not be him, and see how it plays that toll. Also, Chris, yes, the HFP Kenobi the compilation is a great watch too. It is.
What is it?
I'm not saying it again.
No, what is it? No, I see that
it's a YouTube video. It's like the YouTube video I just shared. It's, I believe, like a 6-7 minute video of everything that Kenobi's gone through. Nice. In like a fluent musical motion. And
no.
It's so graceful. He does the HFP does Vader. They do Ahsoka. They've done Anakin.
Oh man.
They have the Skywalker curse one.
I'm ready to get my heart broken.
Yeah. His most famous one is called Chewie, We're Home.
No.
Yeah.
No,
and
it
starts off with Kylo killing Han Solo and Chewie screaming, and it pans into the rest of their life, the rest of his life with Chewie. Like, that's how it begins. And it's beautiful. He's a great artist.
That is unnecessarily heartbreaking.
Emotional. Every time I hear Chewie cry, I cry myself.
I also wanted to point out, by the time The Phantom Menace came out in 1999, Ewan McGregor's career had launched from his performance in Trainspotting, which you haven't seen, is a fantastic incredible piece of cinema. So I think it was so interesting for fans of him, used to doing this gritty, real, kind of adult performance, to shift to something so different and so new. And obviously, like, the prequels at the time were, thanks Chris, the prequels at the time were a huge leap forward. And he poured his heart and soul into that performance, and the bond he has with Hayden Christensen is not something to be ignored. The bond those two have as a pair of friends is unlike anything I've seen in Hollywood ever.
I want to see them go out, and he's like in an Obi-Wan outfit, and then Hayden's in a Vader outfit, and they're just having coffee. Just mortal enemy day, but we're cool in the moment. It's okay.
I have stories about this. On the set of Attack of the Clones, Hayden Christensen was a very, very, very naughty young man, and he would go out and get drunk and party an awful lot, but he would drag Ewan McGregor along with him. And they were found in costume, drunk, on a beach in LA.
Yes!
Dude, that's dope.
Due to be shooting and filming, but no, they were rolling around on the beach in their costumes, very, very, very intoxicated.
I'm totally okay with that. You gotta let loose as a Jedi sometimes.
And then, as A1 Link said, like 2 seconds later, they're doing hardcore fight training, and Ewan McGregor's hitting Hayden Christensen in the peen.
I wonder how many times they've thrown up after having a night like that. And they're like really getting into it, and like they're just like, "Oh, I'm gonna be sick," and like ran off to the other room.
On the set of Kenobi, nothing has changed. Ewan McGregor was on the volume doing like a scene. He did a move, and he dropped his lightsaber, and it fell between the gap between the stage and the volume. The whole thing fell right down there.
Do we have the backup? That was
We
the
have
backup.
the backup. I said this yesterday. How crazy is it? So, like, when they were filming Phantom Menace and all of that, the lightsabers were the hilts and then a rod of carbon, and then that was all done like post-production, all the lightsaber effects. Now they get to use what CJ and I have, like high-quality stunt sabers with proper lighting effects. That's insane. Like, Ewan and Hayden get to use those, and that blows my mind. That's so fucking cool. There must be little kids in a candy shop. That must be, oh my god, to be a fly on a wall on those sets.
Well, I think that would be harder to do.
There he is.
Hey man, your internet's
Oh,
back.
no, the connection's back.
Hey.
I don't know what I did. It just started working. So, I think that would be very hard to do, though.
Using the
to key in and to do every effect with the lightsaber brighten. Man, that's messing
Yeah.
with me.
I guess it would be for more kind of like static shots and like kind of lightsaber reveals and that sort of thing. Like, you're right, in terms of combat, it would be awful to try and key out all of those like light sweeps. No, thank you. That's an excellent point.
Well, when they do, because like when you do it and you're using like a stick, you can track that stick. You can track the direction of that stick. When it's a light and you got to follow, it's going to try to track those the light particles. So the part that it leaves behind it, the camera catches in the behind part. I think that would be like, if I was an editor, I'd be like, no man, go back to using sticks, man. It's way easier. I can't keep dude, that would be so much more work.
Just let me get excited about lightsabers, Kyle, please.
Let me have my moment.
So I wanted to run through, I did some reading, and obviously I know this is much more kind of Kyle's area, especially with some audiobook recommendations. If people are interested in some supplementary reading to kind of help fill in these gaps and help kind of prepare for the show, I can first and foremost, I have to talk about this. It is my favorite Star Wars book. Master and Apprentice is an exceptional piece of literature. It is amazing.
I'm reading it to Phoenix right now, chapter by chapter, every night before bed.
How does it compare to like other Star Wars books?
It is amazing. I love it.
It feels like something straight out of George's head. It doesn't feel like somebody else has picked up the pieces and put them together. It feels like George put the pieces together. It feels authentic and it's beautifully structured. And the relationship building between Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan, you understand so much more about them. And then you go back and watch the film, and suddenly their relationship and their interactions, it's deep and it's meaningful. I know the audiobook is also very good. Kyle, I'm sure you can back.
Oh,
He'll be
so
back in a
Garrison,
minute.
let me explain the audio side then, because I have it as an audiobook.
Okay.
I bought the hard-covered book, read it twice, and then turned around and still bought the audiobook a week later. Like, that's how much I enjoyed this book. I am very picky with my audiobook selection.
Same.
Same. I knew after the first chapter I wanted to listen to it all. Because if it doesn't, like, some audiobooks, no offense to people, I know they try, but when they do a Star Wars book and they don't have like different people voicing different characters and they don't really get into it, it doesn't immerse you. The guy who voices Qui-Gon, very accurate to Liam Neeson. The guy who voices Obi-Wan is very accurate to a young Ewan McGregor. And it goes on through those characters, and it's very accurate. Same thing with Kenobi, the book. It's scary accurate, and I recommend it tenfold.
100%. But yeah, Master and Apprentice by Claudia Gray.
Mm-hmm.
Fantastic piece of literature.
Damn good writer.
I would also highly recommend. It's not out yet. Is it out? I think it is out. The Kenobi novel by John Jackson Miller. Yes, of course it is. Yes, that is another very important piece of supplementary reading.
And they're about to. Oh, sorry, Charlie.
No. Obi-Wan's like first days of self-exile on the desert planet Tatooine. So this is exactly what we're going with in this series. A lot of the series ideas have potentially been pulled from this book. Beautiful. How's the audiobook? Do we?
Yes, I love the audiobook. Yes.
How's the audiobook? Yes.
And here soon, I believe it will be out. It'll tell me right here. I have it on Audible. I have it pulled up. It is a 14-hour book. It's called Star Wars Brotherhood. it is Obi-Wan and Anakin in between, right before they go into the Attack of the Clones. It is I've
Nice.
heard a lot of Jonathan Davis's books. I'm really curious on how they're going to do this, but from what I'm seeing, from what I'm reading, I've already had it pre-ordered and I'm waiting for it. It looks good. It's got a huge thing to it. If you guys would want me to read the description, I can.
Go on then.
So it is Star Wars Brotherhood. Obi-Wan Kenobi and Anakin Skywalker must stem the tide of the raging. Oh no, it's actually during the Clone Wars. Raging Clone Wars and forge a new bond as Jedi Knights in a high-stakes adventure set just after the events of Star Wars: The Attack of the Clones. The Clone Wars have begun. Battle lines are being drawn throughout the galaxy with every word that joins the set. With every world, not word. Wow, that's a typo on Audible. Great. Within every world that joins the Separatists, the peace guarded by the Jedi's order is slipping through their fingers.
CJ's out here exposing Audible. That sounds really beautiful.
And it just gets into so much. Like there's like 3 paragraphs here of the description, and I'm not going to read them all. But like I said, I pre-ordered it.
Nice. My last little recommendation for some reading is there is a Obi-Wan. It's just titled Star Wars Obi-Wan and Anakin, and it's a comic miniseries. I think it's like 3 episodes that follow Obi-Wan and Anakin on a mission together when it's a couple of years after Qui-Gon's died. So Anakin is a little older. He's not a child. He's more sort of, I think, like 12, 13 years old at this point. And again, it's a really, really lovely kind of understanding of their relationship, their bond together, this kind of father and son, brother to brother, however you want to look at it. Really, really lovely. Gorgeous, gorgeous artwork as well. Can highly, highly recommend it. It was written by Charles Soule.
I like his writing.
Yes, he's a very...
I really like his writing.
Also a Jason Aaron couple of comics called From the Journal of Old Ben Kenobi, which is Luke's flying away on his X-Wing in the middle of space, and he has a couple of Ben's journals, so he reads them on his journey, and we get to see.
So the Star Wars Brotherhood book comes out on May 10th. So
Nice.
this summer, right before I was trying to find the release date, but if you guys want to get into that and kind of get more depth on Obi-Wan and Anakin's relationship, so when they do have that supposed meeting in Kenobi, it's going to be a little bit more gut-wrenching. I suggest listening to it. It's 14 hours even. I'm excited. It looks like a good book. I've always wanted that kind of. I kind of wanted a Clone Wars-esque kind of before Clone Wars kind of book with them, kind of seeing how Obi-Wan did train Anakin, still trying to train himself. But yeah, I'm excited. I don't think this is the end of Kenobi in books. I feel like we're going to get more.
Speaking of more Kenobi, how do you guys feel about the possibility of a second season? Because I have some quite interesting quotes to read to you guys regarding how both the writer and Kathleen Kennedy feel about a second season of Kenobi, if the first one...
Really?
Yeah.
How would they do that?
I don't think it will happen, but I mean, I can hope. I think it depends on how the first season goes. Depends on how the first season goes.
Fair.
Because if it ends up coming out like Boba Fett, yeah, don't give me a second season. I'm good.
I don't know. I think like what Kyle says is with Boba Fett tanking so hard, I think it's just because they're solely focusing on Kenobi. Like I think everybody's attention is drawn to that one entity that everybody's been asking for 10 years plus now. And I believe that everybody's focus was on that. And John was like, just go do what you do, I guess. And I got to focus on this with Dave and Kathleen and all the writers. And I got to make sure it is not just, it's got to make The Mandalorian look bad. Like that's how popular this show needs to be. This needs to be a rewatchable show. And I really feel like that's what they were doing. That's why Boba Fett wasn't what it was supposed to be. And that's why a lot of these shows weren't, because they're so focused on that one character, that one, because they know if they screw this up, it's over. It's done. They can't touch another character that's as popular. You know, they already botched Boba Fett. I enjoyed it. Don't get me
You're
wrong.
never gonna let that go, are you?
I know. I enjoyed it. Like watching it in a whole. Like we talked about in the recap. I enjoyed it as a whole. But how they did it in episodes, it was very blotchy. It was very not okay with me.
Mm.
But I think, like I said, with Kenobi, I feel like they're going to be hour-long episodes. I think they're going to get really good depth to it. I think there's going to be a lot of callbacks. I feel like we're going to see Dexter. I'm just going to say it. Dexter Jester, the cook in Attack of the Clones. I would love to see him.
Yes.
Obi-Wan!
I think already we're getting a lot of attention on Kenobi, though. Like, almost more so than Boba Fett. Like, you saw the huge reaction just based off of that first trailer, how the Inquisitor looked. Huge reaction. So already I feel like there's a lot of eyes on Kenobi.
Yeah.
So I feel like this upcoming Kenobi show, it's high risk, high reward. Like, they have to make it almost perfect. And if it's not, everyone's going to lose it. But if it's good, they'll, like, any crap that they've gotten recently will be totally, like, overblown. Like, it'll be overshadowed by how great Kenobi was. They'll probably, like, redeem themselves, honestly, in everyone's eyes.
I think that's a really kind of accurate way of looking at it. So, regarding a second season, Deborah Chow, the writer, said it was definitely conceived as a limited series and is one big story with a beginning, middle, and end. The approach has always been that it's one full story. However, Kathleen Kennedy carried on to say it's certainly something we talk about. Regarding an extension of the series, she said, mainly because everybody came together and had such an incredible time. Hayden had an incredible time. So certainly from that perspective, everybody involved would love to see this not end. But we have to really spend our time asking the question, why would we do it? If we were to decide to do anything more with the Obi-Wan character, we'd have to really answer the question why. So as always, she's leaving it wonderfully open-ended, but I think that's...
I love that question that she put. Why are they doing it? And they really need to analyze that. That's perfect. I'm glad that they're actually thinking about that. Because if they're doing it for money, like it feels they've done a lot of other things, it's not gonna be as good. But if they do it for those reasons, then
if they do it for the passion and the love of the character, I feel like we're gonna get a lot out of it. They did Boba Fett out of the popularity, the money. Everybody loves the Mandalorian. Like they saw that with the Mandalorian. They're like, well, we can't really do this without the like ultimate Mandalorian, Boba Fett, like kind of crap. I think with this, I feel like Deborah Chow is putting a lot of heart and soul and time and effort and love into it. Like the fact that she got into Hayden. She wasn't worried about Ewan. She was about Hayden. I bet Hayden's probably got 3 episodes where he's really in it.
I would like to point out that she visited him in person. She went to his ranch in Canada, visited him in person, sat down with him and said, hey, we're doing this show. We'd really like you to be a part of it. How do you feel about that? She sat and she talked to him for the whole day. And of course, he was like, yeah, I'd love to do it. I'd love to be involved because he wasn't approached for Rogue One and he's spoken about that in interviews before. And like, he's fine with that. That's not a problem. But he's so glad to be invited back now for this. And also, I couldn't find the exact quote, but Ewan McGregor's been doing some interviews. And every time he talks about his scenes with Hayden, he talks about scenes with Anakin, not Vader. So are we possibly getting some flashbacks?
Yes, if he's Ewan McGregor is not a very subtle person. We know this. Like, we've watched his interviews. We're fans.
But here's one thing that maybe, because we don't know this, maybe he still views Vader as Anakin, and maybe this show is going to explain why he changes his view. Because you see in New Hope, he calls him Vader and says Anakin has died. Right? Maybe this show is going to explain how his view of Anakin changes from this is still Anakin to no, this is Vader. He's gone.
Why you gotta pull on my heartstrings?
Yeah, why must you treat us like this? This is
why I want flashbacks. I don't want emotions. I want emotional flashbacks. I don't want emotional moments. Damn you, Garrison. Now I'm thinking about it, and the logic behind that is so beautiful.
I kind of hope so. That'd be cool. That would be cool.
Great. I'm game. I'm actually game for that. Kind of gives him that point of that, and it also gives us that moment of I was once, your apprentice, and now I am the master kind of conversation. And the last time I saw you, yada, 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 all that fun stuff. And I feel like, when was the last time? We're not talking about Mustafar because everybody thought you were dead. Like, you weren't supposed to be here. Like, I took 3 of your limbs off. Like, you shouldn't be here.
I think there's a version in the comics where not only does Obi-Wan amputate both of Anakin's legs and one of his arms, he then proceeds to pick up Anakin's husk of a corpse and throw him into the lava.
Wow.
He doesn't just
I like how
slide
they
in.
did it in the movie.
I like how, I think they needed to keep it
jeez.
somewhat PG instead of just him going, yeet.
I think my favorite thing is like in the Revenge of the Sith game where you can pick whether Obi-Wan wins or Anakin wins in the fight. And Anakin gets the drop on him and puts the lightsaber through him and shoves him down the hill. And it's like, yeah. Every Vader fan was like, yes.
Speaking of video games, does anybody remember the original Xbox like singular release, the Obi-Wan game?
Yes.
It has the most ridiculous. It's like a black cover and it's neon green for some reason, and it's Ewan McGregor as Obi-Wan, and it's this adorable like first-person run around, fight and kill things with your lightsaber. But it's just, of all of the main characters, to make a singular like one console release game about Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Obviously, he was popular enough.
I mean, that's true.
It just wasn't the best game. I remember having it. My brother had the Xbox with a 50-cent like bump out cover to it, and we'd play downloaded music in the background while we're playing games. I remember all of it.
That unlocks so much in my head. It was released on December the 19th, 2001. Join the legendary Jedi Knight Obi-Wan Kenobi as he takes on the worst scum and villainy. Hey, that's our intro. The galaxy has to offer in level after level of fast-paced action. Fast-paced. It's Star Wars Obi-Wan, you'll call upon the Force and your powerful lightsaber as you face a mysterious new enemy, a droid assassin. Amazing. Xbox games from that era are so special to me. Like any games, that particular style of like polygon shape.
Any of the Lego games, I loved the Lego games. And then I played Obi-Wan, I played Bounty Hunter, Commandos, just any of those games that dropped. Like now that I play them, because you can download them now on Xbox, I'll look at it and be like, God, I was excited about this. Oh man, this is like 3 hours of gameplay.
Truth be told, I watched some of the play footage for the Star Wars Obi-Wan game. The graphics and stuff, it doesn't look that half bad. Not really.
I'm talking about compared to now. Then that was high tech. Now it's like,
that's true.
No, I don't play Fallen Order for the 4th time.
Yeah,
but then again,
Lego Skywalker Saga soon. So sorry, Gareth.
Pre-ordered.
No, you're good. But then again, when I go back and play flipping Battlefront 2, it's pretty bad, but I still love it. So
hey man, Battlefront 2 was the height of PlayStation 2.
Damn straight.
That was my life. I always had this thing for picking Luke because Luke was so OP, you couldn't kill him. Obi-Wan, Old Ben, or I would pick Vader. For some reason, those 3 characters were just overly powered, and you could tear through people with no problem when you're doing all the challenges. Oh, jeez, my childhood. I don't need the flashback.
Oh, a nice little bit of nostalgia for everybody. Thank you for letting me wax lyrical about Obi-Wan Kenobi for an hour. I love that character to absolute pieces, and I cannot wait for the new series. Kyle, do we have a what if this week?
Yes, we do.
Woo!
Give me a quick sec because I'm on chat with these people from live support for the customer support for this.
Ah, fair.
Because it's I don't understand. It keeps going to a Wi-Fi. I don't even have Wi-Fi on my computer. It's impossible. It's wired in, and I don't even have Wi-Fi on my computer. I don't have a Wi-Fi adapter on my computer. I didn't put a Wi-Fi adapter. I'm gonna wire in everything because it's faster. So
it's all sorted now, though.
Yeah, now it seems to be working because I think whatever they did to fix it.
I think they can. He's our best customer. We can't do this.
Did you pay your StreamYard bill?
Yes, it comes out. It comes out. It comes out monthly, regardless if I want to pay it or not. It just comes out of my account. All right, let's see.
Chris,
okay,
the first Star Wars game I had was Pod Racer for the N64.
Yes, it's amazing. It is so good. It's amazing. Nobody tell me that
I had Empire Strikes Back on the N64. That was something else.
any of the pod racing games they're amazing.
I like going to so we have Dave and Buster's here. I think I know Garrison knows what Dave and Buster's is.
I know what Dave and
We know what Dave. Everybody knows what Dave.
I wasn't
Buster's
sure.
is big.
I don't know what they call it over there in the East Coast. There, Kyle. Jeez, I don't know what they have.
I know the East Coast. What are you talking about? I mean,
you're in the middle. I know. You're more east than I am. I'm on the. I'm almost as west as you can get in the United States over here. Like, I'm 45 minutes away from Oregon. Like, I'm pretty west. But Dave and Buster's has the pod racing game, and you get into this bubble that looks like a pod racer, and you just sit there and you play.
Dude,
What?
Yeah,
Don't they have that in my Dave and Buster's?
That's sick.
And then they have an X-wing one where you can do the battle of Yavin, and then it goes into Empire Strikes Back where you can be one of the snow speeders, and then it does that run with Lando, and you're an X-wing with Lando. They got a few Star Wars games there.
The only thing I can hold up to that is there's an arcade not too far from where I am in the UK, and they have quite a large collection of vintage Star Wars pinball machines. And I am a sucker for old arcade games and pinball machines, and they're so beautiful.
Since we're talking about games and stuff like that, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, Charlie.
No, that's all right. Go ahead.
I started one of my puzzles almost halfway done.
Nice. What's it on?
I realized how much I hate puzzles. This thing sucks. Why all these pieces look exactly the same? I was I got 2 more of these, dude. It's a 1,000-piece puzzle. I'm halfway done. Been working on it for 2 weeks now. This sucks. I do 30 minutes, an hour every morning. You're just because they say you have to do stuff to stimulate your mind. Especially with this with my memory and stuff. So it's I'm looking at all these pieces look exactly the same. Why do they seem like they're all the same color? I can't ever find the piece. I'm I was like, dude, this is why I didn't like puzzles.
I hate puzzles, bro.
Tori,
but I thought y'all would be proud of me. I am doing some puzzles. I'm doing something other than
good job.
So Tori and I went to a friend's birthday party. It was in an arcade in the middle of downtown. It looked like Fight Club. She was walking me to the back area where this arcade's at. I'm like, are we on a Fight Club? This seems like a Fight Club. This is kind of sketchy. Go in there, and there's a Star Wars it's the Star Wars Phantom Menace arcade game. And she would not leave it alone.
Yeah.
The whole 4 hours we were there, that's all she did was play that pinball game. I'm playing the shooter games, and I'm playing the jet fighter game, and I'm hopping around trying to try all these games out, and she's just on this pinball machine, beating the high score. She just didn't care.
I'm going to pull up A1 Link's comment because this means nothing to anyone else except for me and him and anyone else in the chat who's British. Big up Skegness. Hell yes. It's a seaside town, a very small seaside town.
They have a flight simulator for the Falcon?
Yeah, Skegness is full of arcades. It's one of those kind of old British traditions of the seaside town has all of the gift shops and all of the arcades. And
I want to travel outside of the United States at this moment and go play this flight simulator.
Come to Skegness. I'll show you all the wonders of British seaside towns.
Fish and chips.
Yeah, fish and chips. Oh, British fish and chips, man. You haven't lived.
Wow. So
no, I haven't lived.
Does Australian compare? Because I feel like Australian's pretty close. I've had Australian fish and chips.
No, darling. Nothing like that.
Nothing like it.
No. Fish and chips is a British institution, I'll have you know.
My father can attest to that because when my dad was around my age, he went over there and built houses and did roofing out there. And he tells me, he's if I could go back and stay, I probably would because the work there, nice. Food, different. And you never know what kind of person you're going to talk to.
We don't talk. That's the only issue. British people don't talk to each other. You must understand this.
LSR England trip. Dylan, quit giving ideas out. Quit.
I'm coming to you guys. I've decided.
Yes, come to the land of freedom. There we go. I'm just
Yeah.
kidding.
That's a joke.
I'm just playing.
Yeah. You're funny.
Oh my goodness. Kyle, do we have a what if this week? I'm going to try
Yes, we
again.
do. Okay. Let's get to it.
It only takes one decision to decide the direction of the galaxy. A decision that will influence the outcome. But if that decision went the other way, reality as we know it would change forever. The galaxy would be on a different course. Things that have happened would cease to exist. A new narrative would be etched into creation. So we are going to analyze those other possibilities when we ask, what if?
Okay. So the what if question this week is a good one. I really thought this one out. Since we're talking about Kenobi and everything, and, you know, everything's about Kenobi and the upcoming Kenobi, I thought, what if Kenobi just told Luke the truth about who his father was right off the bat? How things would have went differently.
Damn. That's a thinker. Can I have the question? Can I just have the question repeated for the class, please, just to make sure?
So, in A New Hope, you know, when he asked, when he's telling him about his father being a Jedi that was killed and everything, he lied to Luke about who his father really was. What if he just told him right then that Vader was his father? How do you think things would have turned out?
Okay. First and foremost, Luke would have got on his land speeder, gone all the way back to the Lars homestead and punched Owen in the face.
Hands down.
Stopped that man in the 100%. And then possibly done the same to Buru and been like, what the actual hell? Why? I think he'd have had a bit, not a breakdown, that's maybe a bit of a harsh word to use, but I think he'd have had some real fucking issues with it. Jeez.
He would have snapped. He just would have snapped.
That's for the short term. For the long term, I kind of wonder if he'd have gone on his own quest to save Vader. He'd have stuffed Ben and stuffed the people who lied to him and kept this information from him, got in a ship, gone and found Vader. They'd have found each other really easily. And then tried to save him and ultimately ended up being turned. And then Darth Vader would have his Sith apprentice son and...
They would have took over there to kill Palpatine.
Yeah, kill
like
Palpatine.
They did anyway. But they'd have been on the dark side. Yeah, I could see that happen.
Yeah, I think that makes them... I think the rage would have consumed him to the point where it tips after he's punched Uncle Owen in the face. Because that's a really nice image to think about. Oh.
I feel like he would have went after Obi-Wan.
Obi-Wan?
I feel like he would have been mad. I feel like that you told me that you were sent here to watch over me, but you didn't do jack to do that.
Yeah.
I wonder how many times he was probably beat up as a kid.
Oh.
Not gonna lie.
Yeah, Owen seems one for the corporal punishment a little.
Yeah. You know, all these things, you could have taught me how to be a Jedi, but you sat there and watched me grow up in this poor ass house with this negative ass uncle of mine.
And also, Owen actively kept Ben away from Luke. Actively kept, even though they reached some sort of agreement at some point, it was still get the hell away from our son. Even though Ben gave them the child.
In such a beautiful moment at the end of the movie, but not the point. I feel like it would have been, he probably would have taken, I don't know if he would have killed him or he would have just beat the hell out of Obi-Wan. And then went over there and fought Owen with all the anger in the world. Just so mad. And then got, like you said, Charlie, got up, left, and go look for his father and just turned. I think with all the anger, like you said, would have consumed him to a point where it would have just turned him to the dark side. I don't feel any different about that. I feel like he would have either been like, screw you, Ben, punch Ben, screw you, Owen, punch him, got out of there, told Vader about Obi-Wan. They fly down to Tatooine. Obi-Wan gets his moment with Vader and then dies. Not in the way he should have died, obviously, from what we saw, but had that kind of moment. And then Vader would have went and killed Owen and Beru out of spite from keeping his son from him. I feel like that's Vader. I feel like he would have been that kind of parent. Like, how dare you take my kid? Slash.
Chris, I'm pulling this comment up because it's a good addition. Can we assume that he'd also tell them about Leia?
If he knew
father
about
and children. I think Ben did know about Leia.
Oh, Ben?
Yeah, Ben knew. Ben was there when Obi-Wan was there when they were both born. Yeah, of course he knew.
I thought we were talking about Luke. That was my fault.
No. My bad.
It doesn't matter. I mean, the philosophy is the same. Like, what would Luke do? What if you could say what would Obi-Wan do after he told him? Me personally, I was thinking to myself, because Luke is holding a lightsaber when he tells him this. What if he just They just killed
Right.
killed Obi-Wan right there, like, you asshole. You know what I'm saying? You've been knowing about this. You've been around me my whole life, and you know what I'm saying. You never tell me this crap. You know that's. I don't know. It could go so many different ways, but that was my thought. He just and then takes that lightsaber, and go cuts Uncle Owen up. Aunt Beru, they don't even got to get fried. He just cuts them up. Destroys their whole little farm.
The large farm.
Cuts up. Cuts up everybody. Just goes on this cutting up battle, just rage of dark side force energy that he can't explain. He can't explain none of it because he don't know what's going on. He just knows that this is all just wrong, and he's been lied to his whole life. So he just kills everybody, and then he finally meets Vader. He calls Vader Dad. Vader's like, "Who the hell are you?" You know what I'm saying? Like, what? Because now it's not explained. The whole scenario ain't explained. So Vader's like, "Who the hell are you?" I'm out, son. He's like, "I'm Luke Skywalker." Vader's like, "Oh, what? What? Okay, wait a minute. What was going on?"
Your mom one of those estranged women I had fun with while I was young.
Then Vader just cuts him down, and it's all over. Like, I don't know who you are, crazy person. It just there you go. You might be able to swing that lightsaber at somebody that ain't expecting it, but I'm Vader. I'm expecting it all the time.
You're an estranged child from a random female. He'd be like,
Tricky.
"Are you Ashley's boy?"
Just some random chick. You got Twillet girl.
Right?
I still don't get that. That's something that I was thinking about the other day. Like, why is that? So, you know how that one clone ditched and went and married that Twi'lek woman, but then they have the Twi'lek girl and the boy looks like a human? Like, what kind of weird stuff is that? Like, like, how do you just have like two opposite kids? One looks like a human, one looks like, when they look mixed, when they look like both, when they just kind of look shorter Twi'lek or whatever, shorter Leku or something. You know what I'm saying? Something like, why you got one human son and one Twi'lek child? Like, that don't make sense.
Somebody said on Instagram that name one other species in the Star Wars galaxy that's half bred with humans. So it turns out the human species is able to interbreed with Koinites, Ikani, Pharaohans, Hamadras, Kifars, Miralukas, Nagai, Sith, Thelin, Twi'lek, and a number of other species.
Oh, we know Twi'lek is one of them.
And humans also bred with Zabraks, which is why we have Dathomirians. And the Night Brothers and the Night Sisters, because they're half-half.
Oh.
That just sounds like a violent night of fun.
It does sound like a violent night of fun. I'm here for what? Let's go. Darth Maul. Ooh. I'm joking.
What is why is this a thing with not only you, but with Tori? Tori said the same thing with Darth Maul.
He's a sexy man. I can't deny
husband,
that.
as she calls him.
I'm sorry. I don't think I could be. I think I would have a hard problem with somebody that had spikes coming out of their head or horns or something coming out of their head. I don't know. I'm not a big religious person, but I'd be looking at them like, y'all are the devil. I see pictures of the devil when I was little. That's what it looked like. It had some horns.
Just imagine you roll over to cuddle and you catch that horn right there.
Right on the side of your eye. Yeah. Oh God! Get out!
And he ain't gonna feel bad about it. He's gonna be like, "Well, you shouldn't have done that." I got up.
Hey,
I
but
think he would have cuddled with you.
just go on that list, find a species that can't, and then you got like free birth control. You don't need condom. You can just,
Yeah.
it'll work. It'll be great. Sorry, that's back.
I wonder if there's a species that has multiple genitals.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying?
Now we're going to
like, what if there was one that had like three coochies?
No. I'm muting you, Kyle. That's what I'm doing.
I'm out.
Hey, that would be the greatest thing ever.
I'm really glad I didn't hear what you said. Shall we move on?
Can we find something else?
Should we talk about some news and rumors?
Straight with more steps.
Yeah.
Geez.
What if they had both?
No.
With no hesitation.
How did you? That's just so messed up. That's just wrong. Not wrong for that. Just gonna cut me off with the news and rumors thing.
I love you, really. I promise. I'm so sorry. Oh my
There's no
goodness.
hesitation with that, Charlie.
No,
They would get a whole nother letter.
no, because I know you, Kyle. I know the stuff that comes out of your mouth when nobody's there to be like, my dude, please.
So first off of news and rumors, Kyle's been kicked off because he just
I'll be fired from LightSaber Radio. I want to show you guys this because I think this is incredibly exciting. Here are some leaked photos from season 3 of Mandalorian.
Ooh, more Mandalorians.
All red Mandalorian helmets.
I don't know.
Oh.
I don't know whether they're Praetorian guards, whether they're a new type of man, whether we're going back in time for some flashbacks.
Well, see, they don't. They kind of look more like the guards helmets than they do Mandalorian helmets because they don't have the
Middle
double
piece
split.
going down,
Yeah, the middle piece. So that's more like the guards than it is the Mandalorian helmets. I mean, it could be a different, maybe it's like a different Mandalorian helmet from like a different sect that they're bringing out. But all red. There is all red helmets, so you got to know it got to be some type. And there's multiples. So if there's multiples of them, then that means there has to be some type of group. It has to be a group of something.
Their helmets look like the guards that were protecting Duchess Satine when Duchess and Padme in Clone Wars were leaving during all that
They
inner
kind of
fighting.
do.
This could also
So-
be like maybe they're. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, CJ.
So maybe they're guards, but maybe they are like a fraction of another disbanded group of Mandalorians. Like it's very. There's a lot of possibilities with this, but I can't really put my finger on it. I really can't. They're shiny though. Those are some shiny.
Yeah, look at the reflection off of the top. You can see like every light in the building.
That's some
This
gloss
thing's as shiny
paint
as hell.
That's some cherry red paint job on a car kind of stuff going on there. It's gonna break my
Oh,
heart
that's
watching
true,
this
too.
break.
Chris brought up a very good point. They kind of do look like the Imperial Mandos. Remember in the part where Satine has to disarm that bomb or that thing that she created that they created that was going to destroy Mandalore
Yeah,
and Rebels?
that goes after the
They're-
Beskar. Yeah,
Yeah, the helmets that they were wearing kind of look like that. That's
Pretty
a good catch, Nick. I mean, Chris.
Yeah, but red might not even be the
All the
final
spoilers.
color. Like this might just be like how they're made right now, and they might like cover it with another color or something.
That's possible. It's shiny as
You
shit.
muted,
That'll
Charlie.
blind it.
Charlie's on mute. Yeah.
Sorry, lads. I was going to say, this is a finish. Like, this is a finished, final, sanded, primed.
Oh, it is
Gone.
okay. So,
Oh,
Yeah.
maybe
I mean,
it
it's
is
really
red.
shiny. I'm gonna hate to
Yeah.
watch those get hurt.
That's why they're in these bags, because these are soft on the inside.
I'm
Just
gonna
don't
really
get
hate to
scratched.
watch them get damaged. Just
Next
watch them
up-
imagine one of those guys.
Well, we are talking about Star Wars here. You know, in Star Wars, they just change shit randomly anyway. So, you know.
Oh yeah, that's true. None of this made the final. Next up, we have this.
Oh, is that a?
That's
Oh,
an underwater pod, isn't it?
or it could be one of the rolling pods. Remember the rolling
Jurassic
pods?
Park?
I think Chris said it looks like. Oh no, I don't think it was Chris. It was somebody else said it looked like Grievous's ship.
Kind of.
I don't know.
But I don't know why they'd be making anything that has to do with Grievous because Grievous was killed in a thing. He's not after. You know, it would have to be some prior to it. And from all information right now, Lester doing something for the High Republic type of period, and then he still wouldn't be around because he ain't that old. I don't know. I mean, I don't see that being anything that has to
That
do
looks
with
like the
Grievous,
shooter
though.
turn off the ghost from Rebels. Chris says.
Yeah, it could be that. What if they made the Rebels into a live action?
Yeah,
What
that's
you
what I'm.
think
That's
is-
what I'm thinking.
this
Whoa.
is a lot of what's been swirling. It seems to be. Part
Dude,
of
that
me-
would be
a lot
so
of those-
dope if they. But you gotta look at it. They kind of go in that direction. They're bringing
That means we're
Ahsoka.
waiting for Zeb and Kanan. We have Ezra.
They
We have
got-
Sabine. We have Chopper.
Well, you got. Think about it like this. You got the Bad Batch. We know that Kanan is out there somewhere. They already showed Syndulla. You got in live action. You got Ahsoka, and now Ezra and Sabine is gonna be back. They've already been casted for the series, for the Ahsoka series. We got Thrawn. These are almost all the main characters that have to do with with Rebels.
We
Makes
just need
perfect
Zeb and
sense.
Kanan. That's all we need is Zeb and Kanan.
We got Kanan because Kanan was in Bad Batch.
No, I mean Kanan as in live action
Live
actor.
action.
Well, that's easy. I mean, all I got to do is find an actor that sort of looks like Kanan and stick him in there. You know, that's not hard to do.
Freddie Prinze Jr. with that goatee and a man braid.
And then you got to think about it too, because Syndulla's not in live action yet neither. They haven't shown her in live action. No. She was only in the Bad Batch, but everything's leading up to the same thing. Everything's leading up to possibly be. Dude, that'd be dope if they made a Rebel series.
Can we put this in my house? Can I have this? Like when I build a house, can I have this?
This is our last picture, which is a like an Imperial ship set of some description. I also think this something, I don't know what this is, a gun, a weapon, a discarded.
I'm about to change my background for the videos today.
It's gorgeous, isn't it? I love the red lighting here. This color's really lovely.
Dude, what else had that coloring in it? What in one of the movies that this scene, this sort of like this was there? What was that? Which movie was that?
I don't know.
It had the red lighting, because you know all the other lighting in the Death Star and everything was white.
Rogue One's end scene was all lit like this.
Yeah. Was it Rogue One? Yeah, I think it was Rogue One that had this kind of like lighting in it.
Also,
because in all the other Star Wars, they're white lights. They don't have the red lights.
Oh God, in the Starkiller base is like this as well on the inside with this red lighting.
Oh yeah.
Everything's big dark corridors and bright red lighting. It does look very First Order, Chris.
Starkiller though.
Yeah, what if this is like the beginning of the First Order? I'm gonna zoom in over here. These look like posters.
That would be cool though.
That's like a mask poster on the right. It looks like wear your mask or something.
Oh, it must be. I think it's a gap through to the walls at the back of the set.
Yeah.
Maybe it's next to a
It's like a
metal walls
like
and then just a
people with,
random
like 6 feet.
fence.
Yeah, that looks like COVID stuff. Wow, that really like brings me to the Star Wars universe. That's
this is super immersive.
Really,
just think about it. The guy's sitting there. He's like, "We had all this funding, and then you give me this wooden fence." Really?
I can feel the texture of that floor. And
hey, I heard. What was it? Was it last week sometime? I heard something about that they were doing a Star Wars like Broadway production or something like that. It was like a rumor or something going around that they were doing like a Star Wars Broadway production or something like that.
Kyle, please, I'm a huge Broadway fan. I would have heard.
I could have swore, I just caught like a quick glimpse of it or something. It was either on TikTok or no, it wasn't on TikTok. What was I was listening to something. I think I was listening to the radio, just a regular car radio. I was listening to the news radio, and they said something. I just caught the end of it. I was like, Star Wars, what? Broadway, what?
Oh,
and
there's a musical comedy on Broadway about Star Wars.
I am your father.
But that definitely could be a set. That could definitely be a stage set for something like that.
It was Broadway's hilarious, irreverent new musical comedy, a musical about Star Wars, or why Star Wars is the greatest thing in the history of the galaxy, much, much better than Star Trek. That's the full title.
Wow, that's a long ass title. Like, holy crap, you didn't want nobody to come.
Star Trek, I'll take it.
On their endless quest to perform at a Comic-Con, a restraining order filed by Warwick. Oh, it's like a whole thing. It's like the plot of Fanboys when they try. It's Fanboys, but
I'm just saying that kind of looks like that kind of looks like a set that because I mean it looked good, but at the same time it kind of looked a little low budget with that fence in the background and like something. You know what I'm saying? So it was like, all right, wait a minute, maybe it's like a set of some sort.
This is the set, and this bit in the middle is the gap to the set next to it. I don't think the Wild West posters have anything
Just
to
imagine
do.
if we're like in a scene and all you see is that wooden fence. It's like
going to be the Starbucks cup of Star Wars, isn't it? We're going to spot these and go,
We seen that. We seen that before.
Yep. We know that fence. We know that fence.
Amazing. I've got way more stuff to go over with you guys, even. In Star Wars comic news, Han Solo and Chewbacca issue number 1 by Marvel Comics. Han's father is depicted for the first time within this timeline, accompanied by the reveal that his name is Owen. The scene is very much inspired by the Johnny Cash song "Boy Named Sue," which
heck yeah,
it's very
such a good song.
They're in a bar together. They're talking. They don't realize who each other is, and then they do.
Is that like What book is that, CJ, that he meets his uncle in the bar? Remember, he meets his uncle in the bar.
Here, let me pull it up. I have my Audible right here. I have those books because I got all three of them. They're a trilogy together. I can't remember the name of the book, but there's a book, and he meets his uncle in a bar. So I'm guessing that they're they're taking a little bit off of that for the comic. The Paradise Snare. He meets his uncle and his cousin recognizes him as a famous pod racer and all this crap. And it causes a lot of issues in the book. And his uncle kind of just, It's like, yeah, your dad was a dick.
Well, his uncle's not a nice guy, because didn't his uncle screw him over?
Yeah, his uncle double crossed him and turned him into the Imperials, and then he had like a facial recognition change and his retinas changed, and he joined the Imperial Army after the girl kind of just broke up with him, having a spice addiction. Like these three books are really good. It's just really dark.
A lot of Star Wars novels are. I think I've discovered this now.
That's what makes them so much fun. That's why I like reading them.
The first time we hear about Han's dad is actually in Solo, where he talks about his dad in the Corellian YT-1300. So to get a depiction of his dad and like seeing it in comic, I'm gonna lose my shit. Like, I'm excited.
Well, yeah. Okay, so what book was it that the one where he's like, when they talk about the Millennium Falcon? The creation of the Millennium Falcon, how the Millennium Falcon got kind of like a mind of its own. It blows up ends up destroying the whole freaking,
Last Shot.
The factory that had to do it, and his dad worked at the factory.
Oh, no, it wasn't Last Shot. It's right here. It is the third book. It's the last book in the trilogy. It's the Hutt's Gambit. It's right. The Hutt's Gambit? It's in the beginning of the book where they go back and they get Rav and Zeb and all them. That's where Zeb comes from, the name Zeb. Rav and Zeb, they worked in the spice mines, and their plan was to go in, destroy the factory, free the slaves, and come to find out his dad. No,
I'm talking about the factory on Corellia. They take his mom and dad move from where they was living at to Corellia, and they start working on the and he starts working in the plant where they make the YT-13.
I have all the Han Solo books. Give me a sec.
I can't remember which one. That's my thing. I remember the parts in the book. For some reason, my brain doesn't work anymore when it comes to remember what parts come out of which books.
It's not.
But I know it's in one of the books where they talk about. What was it? I just listened to it not too long ago. Let me see.
The Corellian Shadow of Centerpoint. I believe, because that's another trilogy. It's literally Star Wars: The Corellian Trilogy. I believe
it might be that one.
I think it's.
I thought it was a newer book, because ain't that trilogy older?
Yeah, it's from the 90s. I didn't think it was from a new one.
I thought it was from a newer.
This is like late 90s, right before episode 1 came out.
Let me see. Let me look at it right quick. See, because I read it not too long ago. Or I'm not gonna say I read it because I listened to it. I really don't have time to read books anymore. I just listen to them at work.
I can't say I read them anymore. Other than like I'm reading Master and Apprentice to Phoenix. Like, I felt like that would be a proper book. All my books that I have that are Star Wars are really dark. And like, I bought Ronin yesterday, and it came with this cool little poster. Like, look at this.
That is pretty sick.
And then if you flip it over.
Nice.
Right? It was in the book, and I thought it was a page in the book.
Right, now that I'm back in the room, sorry everybody, I have some slightly sad news about Bad Batch. As we know, it has been removed. The Disney 2022 Investors Roundup was published a few days ago, and Bad Batch was not mentioned once. Bob Iger only specifically mentioned Andor and Kenobi. However, the composers Sean and Dean Kinner, the brothers who created like Omega's theme, they've done Bad Batch, Clone Wars, Rebels. They joined a Star Wars charity live stream. Rex and Around was on it as well, to raise money for foster children and families in the Ukraine. Specifically, the Kinner brothers said they've been working on music for season 2 since season 1 came out, and that Omega will be a little older. There's going to be some more characters, a scene on Coruscant, And they described it as a political noir-esque piece. So I've no idea what to take from that.
I'm just excited because I keep buying Bad Batch stuff. Like
But
my welding helmet is
Wait,
Wreckers.
what's a political noir?
They've written like a piece of music that's political noir-esque, and I'm
Oh.
guessing it means we're returning to like the Senate and the kind
In
of the
Bad
politics
Batch?
of Star Wars. Maybe, who knows? But yes, I don't think it will be coming out this spring. It may be coming out a little later this year, quite possibly. However, following off the back of that podcast, the team also mentioned, and I quote, we are working on a new project. It's an animated project, a Star Wars project, and that's all we can say. It's really freaking great, to the point where Lucasfilm and Disney are giving us full orchestras for every episode. It's a very, very special project, and some great people are involved. I've probably said too much already. End quote. Fans are theorizing possibly a Maul series, some kind of animated Maul series standalone, or something called Tales of the Jedi, which in late 2021, I remember we did cover this, Star Wars Newsnet reported that Lucasfilm employee gifts featured logos of the studio's upcoming shows and films, as well as a logo for an unannounced series called Tales of the Jedi.
That would be cool.
Yep.
Maul,
Super cute.
I wouldn't want Maul, and the only reason is
No?
because he deserves live action. If you're gonna do Maul,
100%.
do a live action.
Absolutely.
Tales of the Jedi, I think that would be really good, actually. Animated. I don't like animated, but that would be something that I think would do okay animated.
Well, especially if they did off the Tales of the Jedi, the books. If they did it off the books, because they have the Tales of the Jedi books. If they did it kind of like off of that, like kind of,
I think
maybe not the same, but kind of kept that like little short form story
yes, that's the plan.
type thing, I think that would work pretty good.
Yeah, and I feel like it would remind me a lot of that Visions episode, the Elder.
Yes.
Like similar to that, just kind of like Jedi.
Very much so.
I don't know. I love that. So,
There's also like a Dark Horse comic series run under the name Tales of the Jedi, but I'm guessing because it's Dark Horse, that'll be a little darker and a little more adult. I think this is geared more towards the kiddos. But that's all good. We love all of it. We love all Star Wars. I have more news, guys. It just keeps coming this week. There are 2 new Halcyon Star Cruiser featurettes which go through the characters and the story, and there's interviews and clips from various developers, costume developers, scene creators. And because I am a sucker for Disney, and I've been a Disney kid and now a Disney adult, I can feel myself falling for it a little bit. I get why they've done the things they've done and made the choices they've made. It is very much Disney Star Wars. It is very much the Disney Parks version of Star Wars. So I'm really interested to see some more kind of honest reviews coming out. I am still waiting. You're still waiting. If anybody is a fan of their solid state hard drives for their office spaces, Seagate are selling a new line of SSDs which look like ingots of Beskar. If anyone's a tech fan, they look really sick. I'm so tempted to get one. So tempted. Kyle, this was sent to us via our Instagram and recommended that it's something you might enjoy playing. If anybody's played the Disney Villainous games, the board games with it's usually, I think there was one that was done with just like Disney princess villains. They've they've added a new expansion to the game for the Star Wars villains. It's a board game with cards and dice rolls and character counting and
that's cool.
Fate cards, and I found it quite hard to understand, but I'm not the biggest board game aficionado.
I can't even tell you the last time. I think the last time I played a board game was like 15, 20 years ago.
I will read you guys the summary and feel free to look it up independently. Villainous players will maintain a pool of ambition, which they use to fuel their various actions at the table. That, along with fate cards, will give them all the tools they need to achieve their goals. Darth Vader is there, trying to woo Luke Skywalker to the dark side of the Force. Grievous is collecting lightsabers. A Ventress has to complete 3 of 5 randomly drawn missions. Moff Gideon is there as well, trying to capture Grogu. And to slow each other down, players have access to vehicles, a franchise first for this game. Vehicles brought into play with ambition will provide villains with new and powerful moves to perform their turns. So you have a set amount of points, dish them out strategy, I guess. I'd give it a go. I like a good board game.
Sounds cool. I do like board games.
I am
They're hard to like. It's more fun when you have other people to kind of help you through it.
Very much. If you can team up with people to play together. Whenever I played Trivial Pursuit, I would have to have somebody on my team because I can't answer the questions myself.
Or just like someone to teach you how to play the game too. It's
Oh,
like,
straight up, absolutely. Just a few more bits and pieces. Costume designer Shauna Trippick has been awarded the Excellence in Sci-Fi and Fantasy Television Award for her work on the Book of Boba Fett Chapter 1 at the 24th Annual Costume Designer Awards on Wednesday the 9th. She said that she studied subject material dished out by George Lucas during the original Star Wars films to make her work on the spin-offs as authentic as possible. Very, very good. She's a fantastic costume designer. She's done a lot of work for other Star Wars projects as well. She's very, very talented.
Yeah, that's cool. That's really cool.
And then, if any of our fans are in New York over the next couple of months, there is a new exhibition opening called The Fans Strike Back, the largest Star Wars fan exhibition. It's a collection of more than 600 official items from the Star Wars universe. It's assembled by fans and opens in Midtown Manhattan on March the 24th. Highlights include a 16-foot-long sculpture of Jabba the Hutt, a full-sized model of Anakin's pod racer, and a recreation of Palpatine's throne room. Whilst the exhibition is not affiliated with Lucasfilm or Disney, the items displayed are all official merch, and this was solely a fan project.
That's dope.
It's super cool.
That's super dope. And that book, y'all, is called Millennium Falcon. That's the name of the book. Star Wars Millennium Falcon. I'm like reading through the first part of the cover and stuff, and I'm like, dude, this is the Millennium Falcon. It's really, we couldn't get that one right. It's the name of the thing is actually about the. Well, we was thinking about Han's parents, so that's where they bring them up first.
The Haunting of Hill House, Hush, and Midnight Mass director Mike Flanagan has expressed interest in directing a Star Wars movie that focuses on the Sith. How would you guys feel about something that would be like a
yes,
Star Wars movie?
yes, thank you.
Whoa!
Finally,
whoa.
dark Star Wars. Oh my.
Whoa!
And make it rated R. Because we gotta have Darth Talon in there. If you're gonna do it about Sith, Darth Talon got to be in there, and she don't have no clothes on, so it got to be
something dark. You can't. Oh man, you can't fully appreciate the Sith and Star Wars without some dark.
It needs to be
elements to it.
If you guys,
and I feel like Disney's been slacking on that. So, oh man,
yes.
that'll be so good.
Yes.
Oh yes.
If you
I wish Disney. Honestly, this is what I don't get. Okay, and this is something I have just such a hard issue with, and I don't know if it's something that George Lucas signed into, Star Wars when they bought it or something like that. But why is Marvel? We see Wolverine stabbing through people and spikes coming out the side of their head and all kind of gruesome stuff going on in Marvel, and in Star Wars we're like, where's all the cool stuff? Like, I want to see somebody get their head chopped off, you know what I'm saying, or something crazy. They don't show none of that. So like bringing one with the best we get is the lightsaber cutting
with Mando.
No, not even right there. Well, I mean, yeah, that was pretty gruesome. I gotta say that was pretty gruesome.
He was carrying a head in a bag. That was dark as hell.
But pretty disgusting.
They are getting a little bit better, so I can't complain. I like that. That was wonderful. That was the best. That was the best episode of the whole book of Boba Fett.
Bro, honestly, bring Christopher Nolan to direct it.
Yes.
Like, I want Dark Knight with Jedis and Sith.
Nice. My last little bit of news, I just wanted to run, because we didn't get to this last week, I just wanted to run people through the DLC packs for the new Lego Skywalker Saga, because there's some amazing characters. They're like tripling the normal roster that you have to play with. We start off with the Mandalorian Season 1 character packs. So we've got Mando, Grogu, Greef Karga, Cara Dune, IG-11, and Queel. We have a solo Star Wars character pack. Young Han Solo, young Chewbacca, young Lando, Kira, Tobias, and Enfys Nest. We've got a classic character Star Wars pack, so your basics: Luke, Leia, Han, Vader, Lando. A trooper pack: Death Trooper, Incinerator Trooper, Range Trooper, Imperial Shore Trooper, and Mimban Stormtrooper. Try saying that drunk. There is a Rogue One pack. We've got Jin, Bodhi, Cassian, K2SO, Chirrut, Baze, and Director Krennic.
Bodhi Rook.
Yes, sorry, I'm getting there with the names, guys. I'm getting there with the names. We have Mandalorian Season 2 character pack. We have Ahsoka Tano, Boba Fett, Bo-Katan, Fennec Shand, and Moff Gideon. Amazing. And a Bad Batch pack, which I'm so excited about. Hunter, Ricker, Tick, Crosshair, Echo. There you go.
You said it like Echo. Like you
They
didn't
have a
say
Clone
that.
Wars
You
pack
said
too,
that in
don't
like
they?
the New Zealand accent, not the British accent, is what I heard. I heard echo.
Yeah, that's what I was doing. That's what I was trying
Oh, okay,
to
okay,
do.
okay. Yeah, okay. Then I definitely
We
heard
have-
it. Wow.
Don't they have a Clone Wars pack coming out? Because Ashley Eckstein posted
Ah.
that she's finally a Lego.
I have not seen I've not seen a Clone Wars pack. Did I miss one?
They have Ashley Eckstein
Someone-
posted it on her Instagram
Did
that
she?
her Clone Wars season 7 Ahsoka is now in a Lego game, and she is losing her mind over it, I guess. Which I am totally okay with, because that means we get Darth Maul.
I think
I'm
we
just
already
excited.
have.
I don't see. That's the crazy thing. Darth Maul's already been live action, movie, and cartoon, so he's already got all his parts. We don't need no more Darth Maul at this
We don't
point.
need no Darth Maul.
Hey, whoa,
No
whoa,
Darth
whoa!
DJ Harrison.
Come on, let's say gonna come out with a series just about Darth Maul, like everything that happens in between, like him getting beat up by Palpatine to ending up on Rebels. You know what I'm saying? Because you gotta remember, he got. Well, I don't know. Is that the same time period? Like, what kind of time
So he
period
gets
is that?
beat up on Mandalore by Palpatine and Savage dies. And then he's exiled, and then he comes back. And then...
So yeah,
Mandalore
Rebels is
happens,
after
and
that
he-
then,
Yeah.
because he's
Mandalore
older.
happens,
Because
he gets-
he's older in Rebels. Because he's old. He's old as crap. Remember, he plays the old guy. He's like, "Oh, I'm just an old guy," and he was like, "You're a Sith." Ezra was like, "You're
Are
a
you
Sith, ain't
Force
you?"
user? Are you a Jedi? I was a Force wielder.
Yeah,
You're
you
a
know what I'm saying?
Sith. Yeah. No, I feel like it like after Mandalore crashes during the Battle of Mandalore or the Siege of Mandalore, Maul goes out and looks for that temple. That's where Ezra finds him.
Yeah.
So I think trying to do that would be cool.
Yeah, it would be cool to show the way he was doing during that time period, like where he went, like some of the different. Even having Savage in it would be dope, because Savage was pretty dope. He just was not too bright.
Savage died though.
Yeah, because he
got
wasn't too
killed by
bright, and he went up against Palpatine. Come on now,
He
it's,
thought he could beat him up with 2 lightsabers. Do you not understand? This is the Sith Lord.
it's like,
This guy knows everything.
Amazing.
like he said, I foreseen, like, and he's like one, like he could see the future. He like knows things that's gonna happen. He just didn't know that Vader was gonna betray him and throw him down the thing. But you know,
Right.
he knew everything
You know
else.
everything except for when your apprentice kills you. Fascinating.
Real quick, I guess. So this is what website is this? What am I looking at? Cinema Blend. I guess Hayden Christensen breaks his silence on Rogue One's brutal Darth Vader scene,
Yeah.
and basically he says that he wasn't asked to play the part, but he understands the importance of that part in Rogue One, and
Yeah.
then Kathleen Kennedy goes on to talk about Christian wasn't asked to come and play that part for this reason, blah blah blah. You know, nothing important. They just because it wasn't no real action in the. I mean, no real. Like they just found somebody that could play the part and play the part.
Yeah.
Krennic, whatever his name, Krennic Daniels or whatever his name is. But Hayden was like, I wasn't a part of any of those conversations about Rogue One, but I love that they did it I love the way that they did it. The character portrays me, and I'm always been a collective effort in a lot of the ways. I thought it was brilliant. So that was kind of cool. They didn't ask him to come and do it, even though he's Vader. But you gotta think about it now. I mean, he gets what he gets. He's Vader in Kenobi, so it's like, dude, like you still get to be Vader. Like you really get to be like Vader, like with the suit on and everything. So that's kind of cool. But it's cool that he understood why they didn't ask him to come and do it.
Man, it's gotta be hot as
I thought
hell
that
in
was
this
good. Dude, man. Dude, I swear to God, when we was doing the cosplay episode, I passed out like 3 times in this costume screen. I just wake up and new people would be on the screen. Like, oh, okay, what happened? What are we talking about? Like,
Damn.
that thing was hot. And I mean, all these damn lights. I gotta understand, I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 lights in here on me right now. So it's hot.
Power bill must be nice.
Easy.
At least it's not gas.
Right?
I swear that did y'all see my post yesterday? I put a picture up that says, "Here we go again." Yeah,
Oh man.
it says, "Here we go again," and then it has Palpatine on top, and then it has Putin on the bottom of it, and they're both sitting in the Senate seat when he said, "I am the Senate." Yeah, I thought that was a good one. Like, oh man, here we go again.
Here we go again.
I think that's all I had for news this week. Did anybody else have anything of particular importance? Or
Nothing,
Dude, Charlie,
nothing
you
new with
go-
Hasbro.
no, that's not.
Oh, that's the only thing.
Other than pre-orders. That's
That was
Yeah.
the only thing that that was the only thing that I had that really popped up. I mean, Disney's struggling to fill their 100 rooms for $5,000 a piece. Which I
Yeah.
figured that was going to
Sounded-
happen. So,
Um,
and then they unveiled the first look at the return of Darth Vader in Disney Plus on Obi-Wan Kenobi season. I guess the suit is just a little bit different. They had to make some adjustments to change for Hayden for him to be able to move correctly. But it's
he's
still
a big man.
it looks about the same to me. I'm like, dude, I didn't even know you changed anything. It looks about the same as it did.
Changed what?
I don't see any changes.
That looks like Vader to me.
I don't know what they changed, and they don't label what they changed. That's the thing. I'm looking at Digital Spy right now, and they say they did some changes, but I'm like, dude, what did they change? I don't see any, and then they don't tell you what they changed. Like, so, like, dude, what are you talking about? So I don't know. I don't know. But I think that's
Is it
all
time
we
to
got.
rip me to pieces for the quiz?
Yeah.
I'm not ready.
I'm
not
excited.
ready.
Well, now, you insufferable want rats, it's time for Charlie's impossible quiz.
Okay.
Ah!
So as we kind of discussed in the beginning of the episode last night, I got home. I mean, we went like it was a crazy day. So I found out like nothing about my MS crap. They just told me they don't know. Got some spots, got some lesions, but it could be anything. So I'm like, dude, we'll see if it gets worse. That's what.
No.
That don't help at all. They basically said, we'll see if it gets any worse, and then we'll know whether or not you have it or not. Like, really? That's what
We're gonna wait and see. Brilliant.
But I do. I might not be here next week, guys. So I just want all the fans to know that I might not be here because I got to go get these stupid shots.
Oh God, you can't say it like that. You can't say it like you're gonna drop
Holy
dead
flip.
next week.
Like these, like dude, they're like I got to do like I don't even know how long it is. I haven't really looked it up, and they kind of didn't explain it. I just got to show up at 9:30 in the morning on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, and I got to stay there like all day getting pumped full of steroids. So I'm like, oh crap, this is gonna be fun.
Oh man, you're gonna feel great. You're gonna be ripped. It's gonna be brilliant.
And it's not those kind of steroids. I wish I'd be working out after. But so, and then it was my father-in-law's birthday yesterday, so we took him out to dinner and stuff like that. So like last night, I'm like, oh crap, I ain't did the things. I put it in the chat. I'm like, oh crap, I ain't did the thing. I got to do the quiz. So I tried my best in a short amount of time, and I think I'm gonna get y'all with these questions. Cause I did really think these questions out. Some of them already had planned.
I have some backups just in case.
Oh, I got some good ones. Okay, so let's get started. Question number 1. Count Dooku was one of the only Padawans to ever meet his biological family. Who was his father?
He was no. It
Count
was in It was Dooku Jedi Lost. He was in that. It was
Jabba
in
the
that.
Hutt.
Huh?
Jabba the Hutt.
No. Jabba.
He was the Count of Sereno, wasn't he?
Yep. But what was
Can't
his
remember
name?
his name though. I know. I remember it in Jedi Lost. Come on.
Count
You sent
Dooku
me
the
the
First.
book, Kyle.
I made a couple questions for you, CJ, because you've been losing a lot. Me and you been getting screwed. Garrison been killing us. So I was like, hey, I'm gonna help CJ out because I know he read the book.
Chris says the Baron.
No, it's not the Baron.
That's not the Baron.
That was like an hour ago. What's going on with my damn thing? Is nobody putting in anything in the chat? Jules 27, like the last chat was at 11. What time is it now? Oh no, that's right. I'm like, wait a minute. I was looking at the time. It didn't look right. I was like, dude, it's 11. Like I thought it was like 12 something on my time. Okay. Nope, it was Count Gora.
Yeah.
Gora?
Aura.
Yep, Count Gora.
I was
And it's crazy
thinking, like,
because in the
he was a
book he
Vandal
meets his sister, his dad, his brother, and his mother all at the same time.
Jesus.
On Serrano, because the Jedi were there doing some type of like presentation,
Yep.
something. Okay, question number 2. Who was Ventress's Jedi Master?
Oh.
I think Garrison knows.
Why do you
No.
do
Never
this
mind.
to me?
No, I'm sorry.
I have no Dooku. Wasn't Dooku her?
No, that's
No.
her Sith Master.
Um,
Who was her Jedi Master?
It wasn't Quinlan Voss.
Yoda?
Nope.
She had a thing with Quinlan Voss.
She did. Yaddle? Aw.
Man,
Y'all
why
ready?
are you doing this?
Plo Koon.
Oh,
No,
Plo
'cause
Koon. You
her
just see.
master, her master dies.
It's gonna be someone you don't know. It's gonna be like a name that
okay.
you've never heard of. I reckon.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
Charlie, her master dies, and this is why she becomes a part of the Sith because of the detachment of the whole thing
I see. I
of
see.
like not giving a damn about when they pass. You just got to move forward.
Okay, so her master was Kai Nark.
Yep, never heard of it.
Okay, now I made something.
Pulling these out of?
Huh?
Which corner are you
Books.
pulling these out of? This is worse than
I
me.
pulled it out the book.
Clone Wars.
These
Oh.
are out of books.
Okay, so I'm gonna make something a little bit easier for you guys. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, when Ezra first meets the crew of the Ghosts, while they were stealing what from the Imperials? What were they stealing in Episode 1?
Medical supplies. No. Meluron fruit.
Meluron.
Weapons. They were the incinerator
Oh, yeah.
weapons.
No.
Oh yeah.
That killed Zeb.
They were.
Nope.
Were they?
That was in
E11s?
Episode
that
3.
was 3.
They met.
What'd you say, Garrison?
E11 blasters.
Nope.
Oh.
It was rations. It was
Yeah.
food rations for the.
Nope.
No.
It was standard Imperial blasters.
Oh.
That was it. Okay. Here goes something.
Yeah, because they traded the blasters for the food, and they took the food to that village. I only
I was
focused on the
close.
food for the village part.
Okay. So Beam outsmarts Minister Toa on the shuttle to Jarrell by incorrectly translating what language?
Aqualish.
Charlie got it.
Yay!
Charlie got it. Come on, you got to be
Yeah.
quicker than that.
Nice.
No, she knows everything. What about? Okay, question number 5. What about Kanan? Oh, how did I write this one? What was it about Kanan that allowed the Grand Inquisitor to guess the identity of his former master?
His
His
fighting
lightsaber.
pose.
No, his fighting.
I just said it.
Yeah, no, his
Yeah.
lightsaber form.
It's
Yeah.
the way he fights.
Yeah, his fighting technique.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna give it to
see-
CJ. CJ said it first.
Yeah, I get a point.
We
I
often
average a
see-
point an episode.
Question number 6. We often see Chopper using his grasping arms to fight off other droids and hit the crew of the Ghost. How many of those grasping arms does he have? Garrison?
4.
Nope.
Damn.
Anybody?
Yeah, Charlie, you was the next one that had your hand up.
3.
Yep, that's it. 3 of them.
Oh,
He has a 2 on the
lucky
side and the
number.
one that comes out to use to spin the thing. That's also a grasping arm.
I suck.
See, you
don't
get
know
all these
Rebels.
hard ass questions right by your guesses, and now you can't get the easy questions
Well, I
right.
just don't know Rebels. I've never seen it.
Oh, what do you mean you ain't never seen? You supposed to at least see the first 4 episodes. You
Yeah,
would've got that
one
already.
time.
What, you haven't
Like
watched them?
one time.
Amazing.
Okay, let's go a little bit different direction. Question number 7. Most fans think the month of May is important to Star Wars because of May the 4th. But what other reason made George Lucas value the month of May? Charlie?
His birthday's on May 10th.
Hello. It's his birthday, but that's not the right date. His birthday's on
No.
May the 14th.
I was going to say, yeah, is it because it's his birthday month?
Yeah, it's because of his birthday month. That's why it's always been around Christmas or in May that he released the movies.
That's why on May 4th we're doing, because May 4th falls on a Saturday, we're going to do a show about George.
Oh, that's
I'm
going to
gonna
be great.
be at
You know how?
Galaxy's Edge.
So,
That's
go
all
have fun. You're at Galaxy's Edge. You better record this shit so we can put it on the thing. Garrison did it.
We're not
I'm gonna
bothered.
do it. I was just saying, like, I'll pop in and say hi.
That's fine. We got you covered. It's all good. But yeah, we want to talk about George because, we can't do a Star Wars podcast and not talk about the maker. It's the rules.
Okay, question number 8. Why are the Inquisitors not considered Sith? Now, this took some research. Charlie?
Wait, I do know this. I definitely know this. I think it's something to do with they don't give themselves up to the dark side of the Force. They only use a small portion of it, which means they're able to draw on the dark side of the Force, but it doesn't consume them. Therefore, they don't become Sith.
Yes! That's awesome! I didn't even know you had the button working!
I've been waiting forever to get you on that button. Okay. Anybody else got a guess? Oh no, Charlie, don't go off the screen. Don't go off the screen. Got anything, Garrison?
Because there's only 2 Sith, and they didn't let them in on all like the Sith secrets and Sith training and stuff.
Yeah, I'll give you the point on that one. So basically, they're trained on how to use the dark side. They're trained in lightsaber form, but they're never given the Sith training for like Force lightning and like spells and stuff like that. They're not given that type of training.
Gotcha.
So they're never considered actual Sith, and they're never given. That's why they're the 6th brother and 7th brother. They're never given the Darth title.
Ah.
Okay, and we kind of talked about this earlier. How many Inquisitors are there in the current canon timeline? Charlie?
I'm gonna have a stab at like 15.
Nope.
25.
Nope. CJ?
18.
Nope.
19? I was just waiting for
There's
the
got to be like
button,
no. You're all going like high. I'll go like 9.
Garrison is the closest. According to the reference book, Star Wars, absolutely everything you need to know, updated and expanded. The total amount of Inquisitors have been 12, and 10 have been seen so far in the current canon timeline. So there's only 10 that's been seen.
Okay.
Which
Well
I question that. Now, this is the reason I question that. Because the Grand Inquisitor and whoever this Grand Inquisitor, because there's the Grand Inquisitor and the Grand Inquisitor, are not considered in the same thing as all the brothers and sisters. So I think that's where they get 12 at. And then there's 10 of the brothers and sisters.
There's
So-
Grand and the Grand.
Yeah, I tried to look it up and figure out what the hell they were talking about. I couldn't figure it out, so I don't know. I looked on like 20 different websites. Like, what the hell are you talking about? The Grand and the Grand? How can there be 2 Grand? But I guess there was a Grand and a Grand. You know, like the Grand Inquisitor and then Grand Inquisitor. Like without the D on the front of it.
Sure.
I was like, but I couldn't,
like
I looked at like 20, 30 different websites and I could not find anything that, like, they all said this, but they didn't confirm like the difference. Like, what makes them different? Are they different people or what? Like, did he die and the Force bring him back or something? Like, what are y'all talking about? Like,
Grand Inquisitor and then my great Grand Inquisitor.
like, I was like, dude, this don't make no sense. I couldn't find no reference that actually showed me or explained it. So I'm like, but they say there's 12 and then there's 10 so far in the current canon timeline, which we haven't seen 10 because we see. 4 in Rebels, and then so far we've seen, and I had to double and triple check. I thought I seen 4, but we actually only seen 3 of the Inquisitors, not including the Grand Inquisitor or Grand Inquisitor, whichever one is in Kenobi. We actually only see 3, so that's only 7 that I've noticed seeing. So I'm like, okay, how many? But then I don't know about the video games, so y'all know more about the video games. So I guess they could be in the video games and know more. But I've only seen 7. So. And that technically, I haven't even seen 7 in like TV shows because the 3 that we see in the thing are also in. Well, one of them I know for a fact is in Rebels.
We see 3 in Fallen Order. So
Yes.
So didn't the second sister get killed by Vader for sticking up for the one chick or something like that? I know it's like if you watch the YouTube videos, which we got to do that. That's going to be a fun episode. We got to do a fan film.
Yeah.
Episode that's going to be great. But that's all the questions I had.
I think Garrison might have won that one actually.
I got like 1.
I think everybody got 1. Or did you get 2?
I got 2.
I
win! I win!
No, I think Charlie got 2 too. Charlie got 2.
Oh.
already got 2-2.
Well, we tied, Charlie. That's the first time I can say I tied or I've won something.
You know, applause.
Hey, I haven't got an answer in like since like the second week, so
I will have everybody's total scores next week. Because I know we did that big tally, so I'm going to keep that running and see where we're up to after another 10 episodes. Because
Yeah, I know I'm losing. My brain just doesn't work as good no more. I don't know what it is. My memory be like, I know the answer, but it won't come out.
Hey, Bodhi, thanks for joining us. We're just about to say goodbye.
Yeah, you joined right at the end. Go back and rewatch. It's
Go
okay.
back
It was a
and
good
rewatch.
episode. We laughed a lot. Even though I wasn't here for most of the episode because my computer was glitching. And the people on it at StreamYard suck.
We talked a lot about Mr. Kenobi himself, so
We
if
did
you
talk a lot
really
about
want to
Mr.
listen,
Kenobi.
Kenobi's something.
Because we love him. Thank you, everybody, for joining us for this week's episode of Lightsaber Radio. It has been wonderful. Thank you, everybody in the chat. Thank you for all our consistent viewers. You know we love it and appreciate it. It's been a fantastic 50th episode. Here's to another 50. See you guys again at 100.
And before we know it, we'll be there.
We will be. We'll blink and
50
we'll
went by real fast, too.
This went really quick.
I was going to say 50 certainly did sneak up on me. Thank you to everybody. It's been a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful show. As always, we will see everybody next week. Catch us on Wednesday for some more Rebels recap and probably even more talk about Kenobi because I know I'm not going to shut up about it anytime soon.
Well, as soon as I get the okay to release some information, I think I know when the next trailer is coming out. But I can't say nothing right now. I can't say nothing yet.
Man, why do you do this to us?
LSR exclusive.
Because certain things I can't say nothing yet. You know, it just sucks. But because it's not that I can't say nothing. It's just that I'm not gonna put my friend in a position where they could lose their job. So you know that's not cool.
May everybody enjoy the rest of their weekend. And as always, from everyone here at Lightsaber Radio, be kind, be safe, and may the Force be with every single one of you always. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Peace, homes. Oh wait, I ain't even in screen.
No button.
Thank you for tuning in to LSR. If you enjoyed the show, consider subscribing so you can be notified when new episodes are released. If you would like to be a guest on the show or just want to give us some feedback, feel free to email us. You can also reach out to us on all major social media platforms. They're linked in the show notes below. Lightsaber Radio is produced by Pick Film Media and is a Swaycast original, starring Charlie Harwood, Garrison Turcott, CJ Elliott, and Carl McDaniel. And don't forget to join us next time for more adventures in a galaxy far, far away.